morning, or depending on when you're watching this, good afternoon, good evening, or good night. My name's Ross, and as always, told out of Voice of Radio. So today, well, there's a new Abomasnow, and frankly, ladies and gentlemen, this new Abomasnow could make things a little bit silly. Now, stop me if you've heard this one before, but our translation does come from the lovely Antoine Boulet. Yes, we're fans of Antoine Boulet. Although, honestly, right, if you watch this channel on a regular basis, this will be, to put it simply, unsurprising to you. So what we've got here is a new single strike or Ichigeki Abomasnow. Starting off with the basics, we got 140 HP, which is frankly pretty gosh darn high for a stage 1 Pokemon. This is quite nice. Retreat cost of 3 is kind of annoying because, well, you can't get free retreat with air balloons, so boo, etc. You've got a weakness to fire, but honestly, Welder's rotating out. So, yeah, you still need to be worried about Victini VMAX. 2 energy gets pretty much any Pokemon V, but it'll still do 100 and get you, which is kind of annoying, but I don't think it's a terrible weakness post-rotation. And bearing in mind, this is going to be in Chilling Rain, and we are expecting this to come out about 6 weeks before the rotation hits. You have been warned. We've then got, well, you're a grass type. So you're not really hitting anything that relevant for weakness. Tricks-wise, you've got Turffield Stadium, which will help you to search this out as an evolved Pokemon, which is quite cool. Does give you extra consistency and all of that. Does mean you can happily use Cherim to accelerate energy to it, though as we're going to see, this is not really played as an attacker. You are a single strike Pokemon, which means that you can get extra energy on with Houndoom. And if it's single strike energy, which of course it will be with Houndoom, you can do yourself a little bit of extra damage. It means that you can discard Abomasnow to draw more cards with Tower of Darkness, etc. So, you know, you're a single strike Pokemon, and that ain't too bad, ladies and gentlemen. That ain't too bad. Now, we'll probably have a quick chat about the attack in a moment, but honestly here, we are just interested in the ability. Because, oh my goodness, ladies and gentlemen, the ability's a fun one. All of your single strike Pokemon in play get an extra 50 hit points other than Abomasnow. You cannot apply more than one Toughen Up ability, that's the name, at a time. I.e., to put it bluntly, it does not stack. This will give all of your single strike Pokemon an extra 50 HP, but it will only give them an extra 50 HP. You cannot have 4 Abomasnow down and be giving your single strike Pokemon, you know, the ones you've still got room for, an extra 200 HP. As fun as that would be, it is clearly ridiculous. Now, Abomasnow stays at 140, does not go up to 190, which is kind of sad, but I don't know, we'll get over it. And essentially, we are talking about a full-on bench sitter here. Abomasnow is going to sit on the bench, give you extra HP, and you are going to roll from there. This is why the retreat cost of 3 is actually so annoying to me. If you could just whack an air balloon on there and guarantee you got free retreat when you need it, that would help so much. But you can't, ladies and gentlemen. You can't. And that's really genuinely quite annoying. Having said that, there are clearly some situations here where this is just going to get a little bit silly. I mean, one of the ones that springs to my mind pretty much straight away here, you've got to be thinking about Tyranitar V. You've got to be thinking about Tyranitar V. Tyranitar V's got 230 HP. It's a single strike Pokemon. Incidentally, that is higher than your average single strike Pokemon. So now all of a sudden we add on a Cape of Toughness. Give yourself an extra 50 HP, and all of a sudden that Tyranitar V is up to 330 HP. Now, bearing in mind the record at the moment is Eternatus VMAX or Corporaja VMAX, either which come in with 340 as free prize Pokemon, you're now telling me we've got a 330 HP 2 prize Pokemon? I cannot be the only one that thinks this sounds really, really good. Of course, if we're talking single strike Pokemon, we probably also have to mention the, well, the most visible of them. We need to mention Rapid Strike Urshifu V Max. No, wait, Single Strike Urshifu V Max. Because clearly that is going to be one that is going to be, well, on display so to speak. And now you just get an extra 50 HP, so that, that 330 it did have has all of a sudden gone up to 380, which is kind of huge. Annoyingly, another one with a retreat cost of 3. If it had a retreat cost of 4, that would be better. Oh, hang on a second. Big Charm. You can't use Buff Panic because you don't have a retreat cost of 4. You can't use Giant Cape because you're not a basic. But you absolutely can use Big Charm here. And with Big Charm, you actually go up to 410 HP. 410 HP! You go from 330 to 380. And then this comes in and puts you up to 410. You actually break the 400 barrier. Now, the previous record, Now, when I say previous record, there are some ridiculous ones. So, a while ago, we had a Concorder, and Concorder had extra HP for every fighting energy attached to it. And similarly, at the moment, we've got a very similar thing going on with Galarian Stunfisk, which again has extra HP for every metal energy on it. And in theory, you can just pile energy on and get near infinite HP. Come on. We all know they're fun thought exercises, but in reality, they're a little bit silly. Yes, you can get Galarian Stunfisk V over 400 HP. No, you're not actually going to get over 10 energy on Galarian Stunfisk V. That's a little bit ridiculous. But this isn't that. This is Stage 1 Abomasnow, Big Charm. A tool and a Stage 1 Pokemon. That is not a ridiculous combination by any stretch of the imagination. That is something which is honestly not that difficult to pull off. And bearing in mind that Big Charm is going to survive the rotation, Abomasnow is obviously going to survive the rotation, as is Single Strike Urshifu, and we've got a legitimate 410 HP Pokemon. And at this stage, I probably need to remind you about Single Strike Scroll of Scorn, because that is a card which is uniquely relevant here. It is a Pokemon tool. Obviously, you can't combine it with Big Charm, that should be obvious. And it gives a Single Strike Pokemon to which it is attached an extra attack that does 10 damage base, plus 10 more for each damage counter on this Pokemon, i.e. the more damage you've got on, the more damage you do. Just see where we're going with this, ladies and gentlemen? All of a sudden, you've got an extra 50 HP, and that means potentially an extra 50 damage, which is huge. And also, what is hitting Urshifu for 210 damage with weakness or 410 without? Probably not much, ladies and gentlemen. Probably not very much at all. And that's kind of my point here. I think this has absolute synergy. I don't know if this can just be a Stage 1, which is going to be sitting on the bench, and it's just going to be a general tech for Single Strike decks. I don't know if that's going to work. But I absolutely do think that this could be fantastic in terms of having a particular deck like Tyranitar, like Single Strike Urshifu, to actually makes it really like proper job over the top good. I think there is a lot of potential here, ladies and gentlemen, and I'll be honest with you, I can see it working. When I've been looking around at people's opinions of this card, the general consensus tends to be, man, that's awesome. Are we actually going to have the bench space for it? Because you want to be playing stuff like Houndoom, your backup attackers, your consistency Pokemon, etc. There comes a point where you do just run out of space. But it really depends on what you're going for. If you want to have a 400 HP Pokemon and then have access to this scroll which gives you an amazing outrage attack, clearly Abomasnow is going to be amazing. If you're just randomly chucking in a Stage 1 Pokemon hoping it'll help in some matchups, then it's probably not going to be anywhere near as good. I suppose, ladies and gentlemen, we'll have to wait and see. For now, I'm going to go ahead and give it between 3 and 4 Wassies. We don't give half Wassies. That would be barbaric. I don't think it is an absolutely game-breaking card because it is a stage 1 and it does take your space on the bench, but I do think that at some point you are going to see some absolutely broken single-strike decks, and I think when that does happen, Abomasnow is going to be right there at the centre of them. That's what I think, but I want to know what you think. So let me know in the comment section, would ya? Go nuts! Be nice! And then make sure you like this video, subscribe to this channel, follow me on Twitter at TheWassy, and Twitch for some live action at twitch.tv/PTCG Radio. If you want to support the channel, get some bonus podcasts and all that good stuff, head on over to patreon.com/PTCG Radio, where you can do exactly that. But by far the most important thing as always, look after yourselves till next time, would ya? Thank you very much for watching. My name's Ross, and you've been watching PTCG Radio.